At most levels, this area of the court will not be a walk in the park. It's going to be crowded, chaotic, and tough to get through if you haven't developed the skills and the feel to make it look easy. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get more crafty attacking and finishing at the rim with 6 skills you should definitely be developing that we helped these guys with on our recent trip to Kazakhstan, as well as ways to develop them. Let's get to it. So the first skill we're training here is jump unpredictability, which is a great tool to have as a shorter, less athletic guard to finish once you get into this area. And there's a lot that goes into this, so let's take a look. For the first drill, the defense can't jump till the offense does. So offense is really trying to throw off that timing, and the defense is looking to predict when that'll happen. And you'll see that at first, it's a bit tough for these guys. They're loading up their jumps, getting off the ground when it's comfortable versus when it'll throw off the defense. Now, when you look at guys who are really good at this, they're manipulating 4 things. 1, not taking a big gather that ends up telegraphing it. So rather than going through this whole motion, they're quickly picking it up off the dribble to avoid giving them time to gear up to block it. 2, avoid the last dribble being a predictable pound. It's a common tendency to really pound it into the pickup on that last dribble, which tells the defender what you're going to do, versus something like this where it's just a normal dribble straight into the jump. 3rd, the eyes. So making sure you're not staring at the rim, telling the defender that you're going to be jumping for the finish. And then of course, jumping earlier or later than usual in the dribble, a timing which these guys started to pick up really well here. Next skill here is being able to slip by defenders. So really using the shoulder turn that allows you to get by these aggressive defenders. There are going to be plenty of times where you get some resistance as you try to explode by, and finding ways to kind of slip by like this by rotating your shoulders and adjusting the angle of attack is a fantastic tool to have. And I love this drill for it, where you're getting a bit of a forward lean going and then working to get this shoulder out of the way to sneak by him before then attacking the rim with some contact. Then you combine the off arm in here and it's tough to stop. 3rd skill here is sneaking through small spaces. Now, for the first situation here, you can be great at getting past your initial defender. There are always going to be times where they do a really good job of pushing you into the help, and you have to identify and get through small spaces like this. So for this first variation, they're starting with a full advantage and looking to explode through this window of space where that help defender is in front of them. Now, sometimes they'll do a good job of closing up this window, and you'll have to bounce to the outside, so that's an option too. But the goal here is to get really good at contorting your body to sneak through a small window while protecting the ball from this defender, who's oftentimes in a good position to get a steal. Because most players forget about them a bit when they're looking to get around this next defender. And then, of course, they still got to finish. So getting good in this situation is huge for you as you get better at getting downhill. Then a similar but slightly different situation is getting through a gap just going straight line. So you're just bursting through these 2 defenders using a creative pickup to protect the ball. So we set up a drill to simulate this on a basic level first, just allowing them to experiment with various types of pickups and get the feel for having that arm battle, which will happen in a game, often without a foul. And I want them to try a different ball pass here. Keep it low, sweep it up, go over the top, the whole 9. And then we're making it more dynamic with defenders moving to add in a bit more unpredictability. Next skill here is attacking a stationary defender with a head of steam off the dribble. Something we see all the time in ball screens if they play drop coverage, but can happen a ton in transition or even after you smoke a defender off the dribble. Main keys here: 1, don't underestimate the power of momentum. If they're on their heels, using a strong attack with literally anything to keep them guessing can get you a nice angle and speed to beat them to a layup. 2nd, because of this, they're often super reactive to changes of direction. So if you attack one way, they're likely going to really sell out to stop you. And if you can't fully use that momentum to finish, a euro or a spin back the other way is very often available. And then like we talked about, protect the ball. Never forget that you're always going to have some sort of defense behind the play.
The miss front court.
Now the next skill here is going to happen when that defender is a little bit further back, closer to being under the basket. Here, using a 2-foot directional jump to separate out to the side and finish is not easy.
Okay, so I'll have a defender here, and I'll have a defender down on the baseline, okay? So imagine like they're stepping up late in help position. I'm getting around here. For now, think about this middle of the court as the out of bounds. So I want you guys to take a super tight angle around here. Once you get down to the rim, your goal is to finish without losing your speed, okay? So for this first couple minutes, you're gonna preferably get off 2 feet, maybe jump right, jump left like we worked on yesterday where you guys are changing direction with your jump. and then kind of finishing over that help.
But it's something that can give you a ton of control around the rim, makes it really tough for shot blockers to guess, and creates a nice angle for the finish, especially if you can get them to commit one way and then jump back the other way explosively. And lastly, I'm challenging them to use pace to really push their unpredictability, not attacking full speed, but relying more on timing and everything we've worked on.
Same setup here. Now we don't even need to show it. Now once you are in this area, instead of again going as fast as you can, now your goal is to use different speeds, different timings to throw off the defender, okay? I'm gonna challenge you guys to see if you can draw fouls on this one. Not to be foul baiting, but more so that if you are drawing fouls on these, it was probably a pretty good sign that you are throwing off the timing of the defender, okay? So I wanna see if you guys can maybe get the defender up in the air, draw a foul and finish. Maybe you kind of hold them off behind you and then draw a foul by jumping unpredictably. See what you can do here with using your pace and a little bit more creativity.
Now, I'm not teaching them to foul bait here, but I do believe that if you can consistently draw fouls, it's a good sign that you're unpredictable enough and putting defenders out of position. So in a drill like this, it's almost a gauge of how well they're executing it. So take a look at your own game, realize which of these you may not be the best at, and then go out and get to work on them. Preferably you have one or two partners that you can work with here, but even if not, visualize, build the necessary skills, and prepare for the chaos of the game.